Good morning, guys, and welcome to an updated morning routine video. I haven't done one of these in quite a few weeks, maybe even months, and now that the boys are in camp and we are fully in the swing of a summer routine, I figured I would give you guys an updated morning routine. So I start the morning out with the usual getting myself up first, brushing my teeth, kind of getting myself together just so that we can get the morning going. And then the first person that I wind up getting up is always Lily. She's actually been sleeping in recently. I tweaked her nap schedule and I think it definitely helped with those early morning wakings that we were having a few weeks ago. She is still on 2 naps a day, but I've stopped waking her around like 3:15, 3:30, and I let her sleep until 4 o'clock, which does mean she goes to bed anywhere between 7:15 and 7:30, but she is sleeping in to about 7 a.m. So I will go in most mornings and get her up by 7 a.m. just to get the morning routine going. And so on this morning, I think she was still asleep, and I went in and gently woke her up, and she's typically very happy in the morning. She is feeling a little under the weather, and so it was kind of a 50-50 whether she was going to be happy or upset. Now this morning it seemed like her little fever was at bay, and so she woke up rather happy. So I do go ahead and take her out of her sleep sack, get her out of her bed, and of course the first thing I do with her is change her very full diaper. She drinks a lot of water before bed, and she still takes a 7-ounce whole milk bottle before bed. So the first thing she needs when she gets up is of course a diaper change. If you guys are curious what diapers we use, I use just the Target brand diapers, and I actually recently had to size Lily up to a size 6, which I feel like the boys were not on until they were close to 2, but because she drinks a lot of water before bed, I was running into the problem where she was waking up wet outside of her diaper, so I did size up to a size 6 and that problem has gone away. So she's in a size 6 diaper. So once she is all changed, we will head downstairs. The boys are usually still sleeping at this time, so I kind of take my time getting Lily all set up in the morning. She of course gets a bottle in the morning. She's on a 3-bottle schedule, with her first bottle still being the biggest one, so she'll get 8 ounces of whole milk. We still use the Dr. Brown's like physical bottles. I did buy transitional like sippy cup nipples to pop into those tops of those bottles. Within the next few weeks, once she starts feeling a little bit better, I do want to start the transition to a full straw sippy cup for her bottles. I think we did that around like 14 to 16 months with the boys, and Lily is just about 14 months old. So for the time being, we're just using these like transitional sippy cup tops. And like I said, she's drinking whole milk now. So she'll get 8 ounces of this in the morning. Since it is cold right out of the fridge, she will drink it cold if she has to, but I do put it in a mug and put it in the microwave just to take the chill out of it. I typically, for 8 ounces of the whole milk, I'll just heat it up for around 30 seconds. If you've seen any of my morning routine videos in the last like 2 years, you know the drill with the boys. They too drink chocolate milk every morning. I have no plan on stopping this. They enjoy the chocolate milk. It is not necessarily bad for them. It does fill them up in the morning, and with them being now 5.5 years old, they're not really into breakfast that much. I think that the milk does fill them up quite a bit, but they love it, and so of course they get their Firmoo chocolate milk every morning. Lily does now hold her bottle. She's been doing this maybe for the last month or so, and so at this point in the morning, it's probably a little bit after 7. I will sit on the couch with her while she goes ahead and drinks that. She will drink it extremely quickly in the morning. She wakes up very hungry / thirsty, and then once she's done with that, I will go ahead and get the boys up. I do most mornings, if they're not up by 7:15, wake them up just so we can stay on schedule and we're not rushing out the door. So I will go in their room, I will bring them their chocolate milk, I will go ahead and turn off their sound machine, turn off their fan, open up their blinds to let some light in, and then they'll go ahead and get up to use the bathroom. On this morning, Jack jumped right into fixing something that he made with his Legos. I guess he rolled over on it in the middle of the night or something happened to it and he wanted to go ahead and fix his little Lego creation. And then after that, he got up and used the bathroom as well. And then I will go ahead and grab their iPads for them. They do like to sit in their beds in the morning and take a slow start to the day. They will usually watch something on their iPads, and I will bring them something small to eat. Like I mentioned, they're not really big on breakfast. Typically, Jack will have a yogurt in the morning, but I was getting groceries on this day, and so he got a yogurt drink. I don't know what's going on. My Stop and Shop near me has been sold out of their yogurts for the last like 3 weeks, so I will get groceries delivered typically on Sundays, and then I'll have to run out to Target or wherever I can find those and pick those up for them. And then weirdly enough, Ben is obsessed with salami. He's been eating salami 2 to 3 times a day for the last, I can't even remember, 6 months maybe. He'll get like 3 to 4 slices of salami. I'll kind of cut it up for him into little pieces to trick him into thinking it's more than it is, but he loves salami. And I don't know if that's bad for him that he eats so much salami, but I'm not going to fight him on it. If that's what he wants, that's what he gets. And so they'll get their breakfast, and then I'll go back upstairs and start on my breakfast. I just made myself some waffles this morning, and then of course a quick little iced coffee. I still use the Stop and Shop brand iced coffee, and my tried and true Chobani coffee creamers. This is the cinnamon coffee cake one, which is one of my favorites. I did try the s'mores one, which was a limited batch. I wish they would make that a part of their permanent line because it was so good. But once I'm done eating my breakfast, it's typically around like 7:45 at this time, I will go ahead and start making their lunch. Now, at their camp, you can pay to have lunch provided, but I like packing the boys' lunch, so I just opt out of that and then wind up packing them lunch every day. And for lunch today, they each got a snack, so they got Cheez-Its. They also got some strawberry raisins. Jack got a slice of cinnamon toast, an applesauce, a string cheese, and then apple slices. And then the only thing different for Ben was he got a PB&J, no cheese stick, and I think that's the only thing different. He also got apple slices. Typically, I'll pack them very similar lunches. The only thing that'll be different is like their main. So Ben will get a PB&J typically, and Jack will get that toast. And then Jack is really hit or miss with eating everything in his lunchbox, but I can always get him to eat a cheese stick and an applesauce. So I do always pack a cheese stick for him. And of course, those get packed away in their lunchboxes with an ice pack. And then we've been having a kind of what is it called, like a heat index. It's been very hot here in New York the last few days, and so on this day in their water I did load it in with a lot of ice. I filled it all the way to the top, made sure it was ice cold so that they can stay nice and hydrated on, I think it was like 99 degrees on this day. Now, once their lunches are packed, I do go ahead and pack their camp bags. They do get like a little string bag provided to them, and then I did wind up buying new wet bags this year in our move. I have no idea what happened to their other wet bags, so I will link these down below. They're from Amazon. It came in the 2-pack, and this is so that they can put their bathing suits and wet towels in them at the end of the day, and their bag and other things don't get wet. So everything that goes into their bags is their wet bag. They get a pair of Crocs as their pool shoes. These were new to them. They also get, of course, a change of shorts and underwear, as well as a second bathing suit. The boys go to camp all day, and so they go swimming 2 times, so they have us pack an alternate bathing suit. They also get their goggles and, of course, a pool towel, and I set the camera up and recorded an entire time lapse of me filling up their bags, and for some reason it did not save. So these are their bags all loaded up and ready to go. And of course, then it's time for me to get myself together because I cannot go to camp drop off looking like this. So I wound up throwing on just a little athletic set. I have these airy biker shorts that I absolutely love. I have an Under Armour sports bra on that is just black to match that. And then I did get this tank top in from Target recently, which I love as well. It's so easy to throw on over a little workout set. And then for my hair, I wound up just throwing it up on this day. I think it was a hair wash day this day, but I knew I was going to go swimming with the boys after camp, so I just wound up throwing it up for the day and putting my little glasses on to feel all put together. And then for the boys' outfits of the days, these bathing suits I think are from a brand called like Pink Chicken or something like that. Surprisingly, these are a size I think 3, and the boys have just gotten into them this year. They run a little bit big, and then they just wore some t-shirts with that, and like I said, I packed everything else for them. I brought little Lily into the kids' room to get them dressed. I also go ahead and put some sunscreen on them since they are out in the sun for a good majority of the day. The camp does reapply it around halfway through the day, but I do send them with some on. And then once they're all dressed, I will go ahead and bring everything out to the car and load that in. And then it'll be time to get the kids' shoes on. It's typically around 8:30 this time when we're getting ready to head out. The kids need to be at camp between 8:50 and like 9 a.m. That's when they start to drop off. So around 8:30 is when we'll get the kids' shoes on, and then I'll get them all loaded in with Harris's help. Some mornings he brings the bags out for me. I don't remember what he was doing on this morning that I didn't, but he will help me get the kids loaded in around like 8:35ish, and we will head off to camp. Now I do bring Lily with me for camp drop-off, so I get all 3 kids loaded in the car, and normally I will run a small errand in the morning, depending on what time she woke up. Since she did sleep in this morning, we were able to run a little morning errand, and so once I got the boys off to camp, we headed over to our public library for me to return a book that I unfortunately did not even really read. I think I read all of 50 pages of this book. I was in a little bit of a reading slump going into this past week. I read a very long book that kind of tired me out, and I had a hard time deciding what book to read. And so I picked this one up, and I just could not get invested into the characters. I think I read all of 50 pages. However, this is the same author as that last book. But this is her newest release for 2025, and I am about 200 pages into it as of right now, and it is so good. So I highly recommend this newer book by Lisa Jewell. And so I went ahead and picked that up. We got back to the house, and then I'll do a quick morning chore, which is always unloading the dishwasher. And so I went ahead and did that with little Lily sitting with me. And then afterwards, I've just recently started giving Lily breakfast. The mornings are just so crazy, and she's never really been interested in it, but I can tell recently that she has been a lot more hungry in the mornings. So once I get the dishwasher all unloaded and get all of the clean dishes put away, I'll have about like 20 to 30 minutes until it's nap time. It really depends on what kind of errands we run in the morning. On this morning, I think we had about 20 minutes before Lily needed to go in for her first nap. And so I decided to cut her up some banana and bring her downstairs so that she can watch some TV and eat her little breakfast. In the mornings and right before her naps, I like to put on something very like low sensory on the TV, and my sister is actually one that introduced this to me. She watches all of these little story times read aloud with her son Walker, and so typically I'll just type in like kids stories read aloud and click any of the ones that come up. And Lily really likes it. It basically is like a narrated version of all the books where someone reads it out loud. Some of them, it's the person physically reading it and just flipping through the pages. And then other ones, like the one I chose today, is more of a like animated storytelling where they add some extra graphics, and Lily really enjoys this, and so we'll go ahead and watch slash listen to these. She'll eat her little breakfast, she'll play with her toys. She still really loves her Love Every little ball toy here. And then I did recently get her the Miss Rachel like box that comes with all of the little interactive things that you can do with her. In a lot of Miss Rachel's like new videos, she has these like interactive toys, and so I went ahead and got this little box for Lily, and she decided to stuff all of her toys into this little box this morning. So she did this for a little bit. And this morning I wound up putting her down around 9:45. Typically, if she sleeps in the morning, her naps are between like 9:45 and 10. But if she wakes up a little earlier, her nap could be as early as like 9:30. But on this morning, I think it was around like 9:45. So I go ahead and stick her in her bed. I say goodnight to her, turn her sound machine on, her fan on, turn the light off, and all of that. And then that concludes my morning. I will typically spend her morning nap editing, reading, relaxing. Just because the mornings are so busy and go, 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 I like to ease into the rest of my day by reading. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and if you did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up.